joining us. But today we have the IG who has been very proactive about that. We can see a lot of reform going on, but it's going to take a long time. So we just have to be patient. So that's the issue.
Mr. Mefele, he has said that he doesn't get the sense that the government is actually facing that responsibility squarely. What do you think is responsible for government's inability to handle the matter of security like a government should?
Thank you.
Or like a government is supposed to, based on what the Constitution says?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a fundamental responsibility of government to secure life and property.
And the fundamental right of the people.
That's right.
To have their lives and property secured.
That's right. But just like you said, I think there is still a lot of improvement required in the activities of government. But to answer your question you asked me, what could be responsible? First and foremost, I trace it to the general orientation, as far as I can see, from the attitude, character, and behavior of our security men, the police, and the military as a whole. So I think that the thing seems to have started right from the academy, particularly police academy, police college, and from the barracks. If you see any person, whether civilian or security personnel from the barrack, you just don't need to be told that this person is from the barrack. They have a kind of attitude. They have a kind of character they display. I think that is where the thing starts from.
What kind of character do they display?
For instance, if I take it back to the Okuta days, this general, ex-general now, rather retired general, I've forgotten the name, who presided over the coup trial of General Basanjo, the way he was answering questions. At the time, it appeared that the panel was not too comfortable with his attitude, and they cautioned him. He pleaded, and that is their lifestyle. It's the kind of attitude that they have orientation. So I personally want to see that what is required is a reorientation of our security personnel. The way they conduct themselves in the public. Somebody appears in security uniform, especially the police. It looks like he is the Lord and Master, is above the law. They are supposed to be exemplary. I'll give you an example. If you go to the major road, the Ikorodu road, for instance, where you have this outfit by Lagos State Kai personnel standing on the way, preventing pedestrians from crossing the road without using the pedestrian bridge. You see uniformed men doing the very thing that those people are supposed to prevent, simply because they are in uniform. I don't know whether indeed that shields them from accident themselves. The same thing, you saw a situation where Governor Fashola himself had to arrest a soldier who defied the order not to use bus lane. These are the things I'm talking about. It's a reorientation that we require.
Mr. Glano, the issue of organizations like BH and MEND and all these little cells of God knows what cropping up and causing mayhem in the land. Do you think government is handling those security issues in a way that will cause us to see a speedy end to their activities?
Well, I'll give same answer. It's very difficult to say because we now have democracy. We have a democratic government, which of course the way we expect President Goodluck Jonathan to handle things will be different from the way military will handle it. And for so long time, like I said, the problem of Boko Haram, MEND, whatsoever we call it, OPC, for so long time, Nigerians, we have been sitting on the keg of gunpowder, like people normally say. The injustice in the land, corruption, poverty, violation of fundamental human rights. Look at MEND for so long time. Niger Delta, during the military era, they take all the oil without development, conniving with Shell and multinational without development, and that one led to that kind of uprising, and they started agitation started. In the southwest, we got OPC. The OPC came as a result of incarceration of Moshood Abiola, and that was when Fashewu and Co started bringing OPC hiding under the canopy of the fact that they are fighting for that the mandate of MQ Abiola. You can see. And I look at the issue of Boko Haram. If you go to the north, because we have been saying the other time, I've said it several times here, even when the president made the mistake and was saying that at that time that we know them. We look at it, it's more complex than that. The issue of property is there. Look at the whole, that Borono area and everything. That's all, you can't find any single industry there. You can't find good school there. For so long time, there's only one malam that will be in charge of over thousands of children using them. They call it madrasa. And they can tell them, abuse them and tell them, go and do this, go and do that. For so long time, we have been living on the, and not in the military era, because the military ruled by, with iron fist. You can't just come out and say, okay, you are Boko Haram, you are this, and as at that time, we don't have enough weapons in the system. Now, when we got democracy in 1999, the same politician, because they wanted to seize power, they started giving weapons out. They started opening those channels. And today, we started paying the price of what they did. So it's going to take a long time. First, let us understand the fact that the issue of terrorism is a generational struggle. As long as there's going to be injustice, as long as we are going to have corruption, as long as we are going to have bad governance, then we keep having this. I made a statement recently that even Boko Haram MEND and everything is even a blessing, because even not for the fact that we have Boko Haram and MEND, our government will not know that what they are doing, the stealing and everything under development, they will not know they have to do that. Because of Boko Haram now, you can see a lot of emergency schools, a lot of things are going on. Because of MEND, you can see the kind of massive infrastructure which of course we have in Nigeria Delta now. Because of MEND and Boko Haram, we have been able to identify that we don't even have police. For so long time, we have been thinking that we have security.
Massive development?
To some extent. Of course, we are talking about massive development, but we didn't get anything there at all before. For so long time, we are only getting oil there. You don't even give anything. You go to Bayelsa, that's 7 local government, you cannot even find anything there. Today, there are a lot of allocation going there from 13% to whatever they are getting now. But the issue is about corruption now. What of their leaders? Their leaders must be held responsible for the money which of course they are collecting. Alarm alone will look at the amount of money which of course went through Isan. Look at Delta State. There are so many you can be pointing to. I was in River State. When I got to River State, whether you like it or not, I saw some level of development compared to 8 years of orderly. I was in Akwa Ibom. People call it propaganda. I saw some level of development compared to what we used to have over there before. So it means things are changing. Now, if not for all these terrorist organizations, we will not even know that we don't have police. We will not know that even our police is highly politicized. We will not know that our security agencies, they are not what we think we have. So they are not even, we don't even have the right people that are supposed to be there. But now, today, as a result of those challenges, they have been able to put some things in place. Now, to your question, whether there's going to be any is going to be solution to this very soon, I'm not sure there's going to be solution to that very soon. But gradually, some mitigation is coming now. Gradually, you can see that that's how it's going to be. But for anybody to say that, okay, there's going to be a total solution at this point in time, I've not seen, even if you have best of the president in position of power today, he may not be able to do more than what Jonathan is doing, President Jonathan is doing, because the situation is so complex. For example, we play so much politics about the issue of of terrorism in Nigeria. President Obama, after the Boston bombing, he said one thing. He said, in this day like this, there are no Republicans, there are no Democrats. But in Nigeria, the CPC or ASN will be waiting for something to happen so that they use it to score political points. They are the ones saying they started this. Give them amnesty, give them amnesty. Okay, President said I will not give amnesty to the ghosts. After so much pressure, so okay, I'm ready to give amnesty. Now, the same people that are saying give amnesty, they are not helping the president. That, okay, I need your help now. Identify those people. Let them come out to say, okay, we want to give them amnesty. Like in Nigeria Delta, when the leaders from Nigeria said, okay, we want amnesty for these people, they came out and started looking for these people one by one. They brought them out. Now, in same opportunity, the one. So in Nigeria, we are not united. And I use this language again, that people should be very careful, because know me can become why me. I'll give a sample of General Shua. General Shua, when they deployed military to Maiduguri, General Shua was Civil War hero, one of the finest officers in the history of this thing. He said, no, there's no need for, they addressed a press conference against General Danjuma that there's no need for having this thing. But a Civil War hero, who of course commanded the 3rd Marine Command, they just kill him. This is Boko Haram. So the implication of this is that not me could become why me at a point. In December, we said it from our conference that look, in the Southwest, we are going to experience what we call kidnapping. Some Southwest government, no, it will not happen here. Look, they will not kidnap me. Anybody can be a victim of kidnap, but it can happen. It will happen anywhere. So we should be very careful when we are playing politics with the issue of Boko Haram. Until when we have collective resolve, whether CPC, whether APC, whether whatever you call yourself, that we have collective resolve that this terrorism is a threat to our existence. We have two options. It's either we scatter this country or we manage this country and we unite